If you struggle with social anxiety, you probably need a job that doesn't require a whole lot of social interaction, right? Wrong. But articles like this are sharing jobs that are good fits for teens with social anxiety, and most of these are horrible. I'm going to share with you some of these suggested jobs and why they are horrible for people with social anxiety. I will also be sharing with you jobs that are actually good for teens with social anxiety, or really anyone, that will get you paid to actually work on your social anxiety via exposure therapy. We will start with some of the jobs the article suggested. When I say these jobs are horrible, what I really mean is these jobs aren't going to help you progress with your social anxiety. These jobs will keep you stuck in the same spot with your social anxiety.
Well, looks like I'm stuck here.
And if you're watching my channel, that's not why you're here. So let's go back to this article. These are some of the jobs that are being promoted as good for teens with social anxiety. When they say good, what they mean is you won't have to socially interact with anyone really, which means you're just stuck in the same spot as you were before with your social anxiety, and you're not making any progress to take back control. Restaurant staff. They explain that food prep, dishwashing, and table bussing jobs do involve some interaction with your coworkers, of course, but you typically won't need to handle customer requests or complaints. Another one is a stalker.
Stalking is illegal in all 50 states.
No, not a stalker, a stalker. The article says that since retail jobs, cashier, or sales associate positions are forward-facing jobs that involve plenty of customer service interaction, you might decide to steer clear. But these stores also need workers who help behind the scenes. One more that they mention is library page. I've never heard of the position of library page. I thought it was just librarian, or is this different? Maybe I'm just ignorant on the subject matter. But obviously this job requires very little social interaction. I think these jobs are great for teens with social anxiety if the goal is to stay stagnant and stay at the same level with your social anxiety. For teens or anyone with social anxiety who's looking to progress, looking to take back control from social anxiety and start living life on their terms, I think the jobs listed in this article, or at least most of them, are terrible. When you don't face your social anxiety, you stay stuck in the same exact position. But what if you could find a job that paid you and was a tool for helping you with your social anxiety? Now we're talking. I'm going to share some jobs with you where you can make money, they don't require formal training, and they can help you with your social anxiety. One job that can do that is a food delivery driver. I talked about this in my last video, but throughout my entire college career, I delivered pizzas for Pizza Hut, and it was great. This was a great job for balance between alone time and social interaction, because I got plenty of alone time, driving around, just listening to music or podcasts, audiobooks, whatever. And then I also got some social interaction when I delivered food to people, which was only interacting with them for like 15 seconds, maybe up to a minute if they were having trouble with giving me money or whatever. After doing this for a while, I got pretty comfortable and confident in short-term social interactions with people. I did some math, and if I worked bare minimum 3 days a week and had at least 15 deliveries per night of those days that I worked, and I did that for 4 years, both those numbers being very conservative, by the way, that means I must have taken almost 10,000 deliveries? Dear God, I can't believe that number could be right. I mean, maybe, because I did work there for 4 years, but somebody check my math on that. But long story short, I took a ton of deliveries. But you see how doing that and socially interacting with strangers thousands of times would get you more and more confident in doing so. And the best part was that I got paid to do it.
Money!
I'm listening.
What's really cool now in the world that we live in is that you can start delivering food like today. Go on DoorDash or Grubhub and sign up to be a delivery driver. No interviews, no coworkers, just you picking up food and delivering delivering it to the customer's house. I always found it fun. If you're looking for a job that is a good challenge for your social anxiety, becoming a server is a great one. Servers obviously have to interact with their tables a lot, but you can choose to interact with them the bare minimum or choose to interact with them quite a bit. This usually influences your tips as well, so you have some incentive to do so. I will say that this job isn't for everybody who has social anxiety, as it is pretty high pressure to deal with all these tables and do all that social interaction. So if you're just now starting on working on your social anxiety, server may not be the best one. Maybe start with food delivery driver, and once you've felt some confidence boost from that, maybe then transition to a server. On to the next one. This job is great if you have social anxiety, and it will surprise you. A Walmart greeter.
Good morning. Welcome to Walmart.
I know what you're thinking, and no, you don't have to be 95 to be a Walmart greeter.
It's a knee slapper.
I've seen young Walmart greeters before, and yes, I know it's not the most glamorous job, but you do get to practice saying one phrase to hundreds of people a day.
Welcome to Walmart. Welcome to Walmart. Welcome to Walmart.
As you get more comfortable with that, you can expand on it and maybe put your own little spin to it.
Welcome to Walmart.
That's just an example, but you could do your own thing. This next one I did for a while in high school. This job was horrible, but it greatly helped me with my anxiety about talking to people on the phone. A telemarketer. In high school, I was desperate for a job, and the only place that would hire me was this telemarketing company. I really didn't want to do it, but I was desperate for money. Talking on the phone with people made me feel extremely anxious. Now I know that that's a pretty common thing amongst people with anxiety. And this job forced me to make phone calls to people for 4 hours every day after school. When I was training with someone about how to take calls, I was beyond nervous when I had to do my first couple calls in front of my trainer. Eventually, after taking about 50 or so calls, I started to become a little bit more comfortable with it. And I didn't have much anxiety about talking on the phone anymore after that. That job kicked it out of my system, or at least a lot of it. I still hated that job though, so after working there for about a month, I quit, but I got what I needed from it. Here's another job that I hated, but also got me a lot of good training for my brain. If you can do this job, you are close to taking back control from your social anxiety, and that is any job in sales. My first job after leaving Pizza Hut was a job in sales. I was one of those guys that you've probably seen in grocery stores like Sam's Club or Costco's, who was at a booth trying to talk to people who came into grocery shop into signing up for DirecTV.
You need DirecTV?
It was very uncomfortable, but I was pretty far along in my journey with social anxiety at this point. People are walking up the aisle, coming up on your booth, and deliberately trying to avoid eye contact with you. And then I had to walk over there and try to pitch to them. Once again, this was so uncomfortable. Some people were nice enough to let me talk for a minute, and then others would just simply blow you off or just ignore you and act like they couldn't hear you.
Sorry, what did you say?
After a while, I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't give a f. I'm just going to talk to every single person who walks past me and pitch to them. And if they don't like it, fine. But I'm just doing my job. If you're an introvert like myself, then this job might have you feeling extremely exhausted after doing this. So it might not be a long-term solution for you. It definitely wasn't for me. This last job I want to mention doesn't fit the criteria for getting paid, but I wanted to talk about it anyways. Here's a good job for someone with social anxiety and allows you to pick something that works for you based on your level of anxiety, and that is volunteer work. There are tons of opportunities for volunteering, and I wanted to mention this to you even though it's not really a job, because you can custom fit this to your level of anxiety and what you can handle and what seems best to be a baby step for you. There are opportunities to volunteer where you interact with tons of people, or some that are just a few people, or just anywhere in between. So you can pick what best works for you. Another great part is that this is temporary work. So once you start to build the confidence in what you're doing, start to get more comfortable, you can stop doing that, move on to a different, more bigger of a challenge to your anxiety and start working on exposure that way. But no matter what job you have, whether you're trying to just get paid or work on your social anxiety, make sure that it is meeting at least one of these two criteria. You enjoy doing it, and or it is helping you with social anxiety via exposure therapy. For the record, I have nothing against the jobs that this article earlier mentioned. I'm just saying that if you're specifically looking for a job to help you progress with your social anxiety and take back control of your life, the jobs that they listed aren't going to help. But if you're trying to get paid to work on your social anxiety, then try out one of the ones I suggest. Thank you all for watching. Please let me know what you thought about this video, any jobs that you think I may have left out, or maybe you disagree with me on some of the jobs that I listed. I would love to hear from you, or maybe you just want to tell me what job you have. Go for it. Well, it is bye-bye for now, but until next week, peace.